The latest on the investigation into the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Investigators have released results of a preliminary investigation.
It outlines what experts are calling failure after failure by law enforcement who responded to Robb Elementary School that day. Carmen Blackwell joins us live with more. Carmen, good morning.
Good morning, Maureen and Dave. You're right. This is the most detailed report to date on this mass shooting, and it's critiquing all law enforcement agencies that responded to this tragic mass shooting here, even including up to just moments after the school shooter here, the gunman in this case, opened fire in this classroom, and multiple officers retreated in this response.
The report noting they failed to prioritize saving the lives of innocent victims over their own safety. The investigating committee also found 376 total law enforcement officers arrived on scene that day, most from state and federal agencies, but just 5 were Uvalde school police officers. The authors also highlighting a command vacuum that went unfilled, stating these local officials were not the only ones expected to supply the leadership that was needed during this tragedy.
The fact that there was no overall commander outside the building where there should have been one should have been known by many. At a minimum, there was multiple opportunities, depending on the relative training and experience of law enforcement officers, to at least ask more questions.
While heavily armed officers stood in the hallway for more than an hour, Arnulfo Reyes's 11 students were dying as he struggled for air after 2 gunshot wounds.
He's shooting in my room, and they run back this way. I couldn't run. Why should they run? They have tactical gear, they have bulletproof vests, and they ran. My kids didn't have bulletproof vests. I didn't have bulletproof vests.
The finger-pointing permeating the state for weeks, with family members feeling like none of their questions were being answered.
What happened has already happened, but is there any change doing? Anybody been fired?
The report also highlighting other system-wide failures, including poor Wi-Fi connectivity that likely delayed lockdown alerts and a lock on Reyes's classroom door known to be faulty yet was never repaired. As for the gunman, a year before the massacre, he was known on social media platforms as school shooter because of threats to other users, the report says. But those warning signs, among others, fell through the cracks, the mistakes potentially adding up to 21 lives stolen from those who love them.
Now, Maureen, late Sunday afternoon, Uvalde's mayor announced that the city's acting police chief will be placed on administrative leave in the meantime, that is. And that's because an internal investigation has been launched by the city here just because of their lack of response and responsibility to this mass shooting that's been so tragic for the city. Back to you.